What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So the Supreme Court makes a decision, or non-decision maybe here, on a major case on whether or not states can rule over gun laws. Take a look here. Supreme Court denies request to block an Illinois ban on semi-automatic rifles. This comes as the Supreme Court left in place for now a state and local law that was passed in Illinois that bans assault style weapons, turning down a request to block the restrictions as the nation again finds itself grappling with a slew of recent mass shootings. The brief, unsigned order from the High Court rejects an application for emergency relief sought by gun rights group and a gun store owner who tried to argue that the Illinois law and a Naperville ordinance violated their Second Amendment's rights. There were no notes by the Supreme Courts on why they would not take the case. The decision comes on the heels of a 6-day span of multiple mass fatal shootings beginning May 1st. 8 people were killed when a gunman opened fire at an outlet mall in Allen, Texas. 1 killed in a shooting at a medical building in Atlanta. 6 people were fatally shot in Henrietta, Oklahoma. Those deadly incidents came after 4 were shot and killed at a birthday party at a dance studio in Dadeville, Alabama on April 15th. 5 died in a shooting at a bank in Louisville on April 10th, and 6, and including 3 children, shot at a private Christian school in Nashville on March 27th. Wow. And really, you could see the list goes on and on and on. President Biden has implored Congress to pass legislation banning assault style weapons and high capacity magazines. But any legislative response seems unlikely given Democrats' slim majority in the Senate and Republicans' control of the House. This state law at the center of the court fight, called the Protect Illinois Communities Act, was Illinois' answer to the mass shooting at the Independence Day, July 4th, 2022 incident at Highland Park that left 7 people dead. Passed by the state legislature in January, the measure restricts the sale and purchase of so-called assault weapons, including AR-15s and AK-47s, large capacity ammunitions feeding devices, defined as magazines or similar devices that can hold more than 10 rounds of ammo for long guns or 15 rounds for handguns. What are your thoughts in the comments? Do these type of assault rifle style, do states need to, or should they have the authority to ban them if different states deem so? Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. The Supreme Court, which is a Republican majority, 6 Republicans, 3 Democrats there, seems to think so at this point. Republicans and Democrats, a bipartisan efforts, team up to block China from buying up U.S. farmland. Yeah, so we're seeing this here. We're starting to see more and more of this. Representative Abigail Spanberger and Dale Strong are leading the efforts in the House. So we're seeing this. This comes also as Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida just about a week ago signed a bill that banned Chinese citizens from buying land in Florida. Of course, he is also a front runner for the Republican Party for the next presidential, election. He's behind former President Donald Trump, but he is second in that. So we will see here. But we are starting to see more and more concern about China buying a lot of real estate, a lot of land, and we're now starting to see even Congress saying maybe we should stop them from doing this here. A bipartisan bill introduced in the House of Representatives on Wednesday would block foreign adversaries like China from buying U.S. farmlands, so potentially other countries as well. The latest sign that Republicans and Democrats are united on the issue of China's growing threat to America, saying, quote, I think that our nation overall should make really thoughtful decisions about the sort of economic investments that we see, said Representative Abigail Spanberger, a Democrat from Virginia, also a former CIA officer and one of the leading leaders of the legislation. And certainly, to be clear, economic investment and engagement with China is important, but I want to make sure we're protecting American agriculture from our adversaries. Spanberger and Representative Dale Strong, a Republican from Alabama, are introducing the bill on the House side, while a companion bill was introduced by a group of 3 Republican senators, Senator John Tester from Montana, in the upper chamber. It's a signal that Congress is seeing ownership of U.S. agriculture land by some countries as a growing threat at a time when the U.S. is still dealing with high consumer prices and shaky supply chains. Now, this is a concern because, well, all right, here's a perfect example. Imagine if Russia had bought this land here in the past, Russian corporations, and now there's a war in Russia, and the United States is supplying weapons and ammo and aid to the enemy of Russia. And if Russia owned that farmland, that agriculture land, they could simply burn it and it would be their land. They could literally torch it if and just I mean, what if they own 10%, 20%, 30% of America's farmland? Yeah, that would be a significant problem. Also, who knows what they could build on there? They could literally build spy bases there, military bases there. Who knows what they could be building under our noses, and we might not know it. China could be doing the same things. Yeah. And I think a lot of people know, if you don't know, China has been buying a lot of land and real estate in the United States for quite some time. There's a lot of wealthy Chinese individuals that have, there's a lot of Chinese billionaires, okay, from wealthy tech companies and things like that, that buy real estate, penthouses and stuff like that in the United States. And, I'm not saying that they're all like have malicious intent or something like that, but it's maybe a security concern. Maybe, maybe not. But obviously, the United States is concerned about it. I mean, Governor Ron DeSantis literally signed a bill to prevent this, and now people in Congress are doing this as well. Now, on the other hand, some people might say that this is racist. So there is that to think about. Again, I try to look at things from both sides of the coin, no matter what it is. So again, you could look at that from both sides of the coin and maybe think that as well. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. But if you're thinking about national security of our country, that is a concern that our Congress is considering. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Also, I have my beautiful wife, Laurel, here again, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. Take a look here. Okay, McDonald's has been found liable after a Florida girl, quote, disfigured by a chicken nugget.
Yikes.
So here's the details on this. You can let me know your thoughts, and we'll have a conversation about this.
Open forum.
Open forum. Here's what happened. McDonald's has been found partially liable after 2 Florida parents claimed their 4-year-old daughter suffered second-degree burns from a, quote, dangerously hot chicken nugget.
Second-degree burns. That's
Well,
significant.
It's in the middle because I don't know off the top of my head if first-degree burns are the worst or third-degree burns are the worst.
No. Third is worst.
Okay, well, second's obviously in the middle.
Yeah. But second degree means that that it penetrated not just the first layer of skin, but it penetrated to the second layer. That is a pretty severe burn.
Well, we have a 5-year-old who just turned 5 at the end of April. So 4-year-old, we're very familiar with how old they are. Okay, so they said that this chicken nugget was, quote, dangerously hot, leaving her disfigured and scarred. A jury found the franchisee responsible for negligence and failure to warn the customer about the risk of hot food. The Associated Press reported on Friday. McDonald's itself was found to have failed to provide instructions for safe handling,
Yeah.
but not to be negligent,
Okay.
which is that alone in itself is a little strange to
Now,
me.
do we want to mention that in another article, the 4-year-old is, I believe she is,
What did they say? Autistic?
yeah, she's handicapped in some way. She's autistic, so
Okay, maybe they'll mention that here because we read about this a little bit
we
last
did,
night.
yeah.
The lawsuit raises renewed questions about the extent to which food producers should take safety precautions in order to protect their customers. McDonald's denied the claims against it and said it made food safety a top priority. In the lawsuit filed, they claim that in August 2019, the mother drove their then 4-year-old daughter, who's not named, and her brother to a McDonald's drive-thru in Tamarack, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And
They went through the drive-through and they got the chicken
they
nuggets.
purchased a 6-piece McNugget Happy Meal, which I just literally did for my son the other day
Hmm.
because he loves Happy Meals. Court documents go on to say that the McNuggets in the meal were unreasonably and dangerously hot, caused a burn on the child's thigh after being stuck behind her seatbelt. In a deposition, she said her daughter's upper thigh was really, really red when she removed the nugget from it. She's screaming, she's yelling. She alleged that the nuggets were included in the Happy Meal. They were intended for a child and therefore should have been able to be touched by bare skin.
And edible, for that matter.
It said the franchisee in the restaurant chain had a duty not to sell chicken nuggets that were defective, harmful, and unfit for human handling, let alone consumption.
I agree with that.
It claimed the defendants had failed to adequately train and supervise workers handling and cooking of the chicken nuggets at the store. They failed to provide appropriate warning and foreseeable risk of harm for the Happy Meal box or the box containing the chicken nuggets, which may have reduced or avoided the risk. They're demanding $15,000 in compensatory damages.
That's not bad.
That's not much at all.
No.
Saying they've been left with continued medical expenses and sustained bodily injuries, pain, suffering.
Honestly, I think that's quite minimal.
A secondary will now be convened to decide how much the defendants must pay in compensation. McDonald's legal response said that the injuries detained were the result of a partially caused by pre-existing conditions which were unrelated to this accident, though it did not state what those were.
That's,
This was an unfortunate incident, but we respectfully disagree. Our sympathies go to this family. Now, also in the article we read last night, McDonald's stated that it was chicken and that they have to cook chicken
well, of course, you expect them to
all the
cook,
way,
to
and
prepare
they have to-
everything to
and
the
they have-
safe temperature.
and also
We
they
know
have to
that.
make extra sure that you cook chicken enough
Right.
so that you don't get salmonella, right?
Yes, yes, they cook everything to temperature. That's correct.
So, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that in Jimmy and I, we've ordered chicken nuggets through the drive-through probably 100 times or more in the 20 years we've been together. We frequent McDonald's, especially on road trips, and eat them in the car. And I can tell you, in all the years, I mean, as soon as we get that box, we crack that baby open and eat it immediately. It has never been too hot to touch or too hot to put in our mouth. I mean, as soon as we get that box or Happy Meal, we hand it back to Julian.
And that's what they mentioned in the article last night. The The
You
lady
get you
mentioned,
get the Happy Meal and you pass it back to your child. That's what you do.
and that's what I picked up Julian from preschool yesterday,
Yesterday.
and I got him the Happy Meal,
And you pass it
and
back
that's exactly what I did.
because the kid's excited to have
He
it.
wanted it, and I literally handed the Happy Meal to him.
Now,
Now, Julian is such a good kid. He wanted the apples first.
yeah, he always wants the apples
So
first.
he said, "Daddy, can you open the apples for me?" And I'm always actually a little worried that he's gonna like choke on them or something.
Yeah. But he takes
Um,
bites of them.
I know, but me being a parent, that's all
Yeah.
what I'm worried about. Now, of course, I'm right there, but you never know.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want an emergency to
Um,
happen while you're driving.
yeah.
Yes. But still, my thoughts are that, especially for Happy Meals in particular, there should be a protocol in place that the nuggets should cool for a certain period of time before they are put in the box.
But like, then you'll have people complaining in the drive-thru. Where's my food? Where's my? I mean, you could say that about French fries.
But here's the thing. I
Do
mean,
do French fries have to cool then?
well, yeah, because you have to remember they put them in the fryer, and then when they come out of the fryer, they tap the basket, and then they dump it into that bin where they're salted, and then they scoop them and put them in the thing. So I mean, there's a lot of time that goes by from the time where they're cooked in the fryer, then they're dumped out, then they're put in the box, then they're put in the Happy Meal, then you got to go get the toy, then you got to go get the fries. I mean, there's a lot of time that passes alone. I have to think something happened in this case for the chicken nugget to be that hot, to cause second degree burns. I have burned myself many a times with ovens, curling irons, all that stuff. And those are just first degree burns. To cause a second degree burn, that is way too hot.
Now,
Something happened that shouldn't have happened in this case. Because you and I have opened a chicken nugget box.
How do you even cook a chicken nugget that hot?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I can't figure out
No,
what happened.
I'm assuming that this actually happened. I'm assuming that they're not lying.
Oh, I mean, they probably have to have photographic evidence. She's gonna have.
Well, she had to have gone to the hospital or
Oh
something for
yeah, I
second degree
mean,
burns,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. And she's going to have a scar from that.
Well, that's what she said, disfigured or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's gonna have a scar from that. And here's my thing. I don't necessarily think that McDonald's needs to have a written wording on their thing.
Well, they might as well put it on every box at this point. I mean, if
it's
I was
not like a 4-year-old's going to be reading.
Well, no, but the parents. I mean, at this point, if I was McDonald's, I would literally put
well,
a. I
that's
would
what
put
they
a
did
warning.
on the coffee
I would
after
put,
that suit
I would
in
put
the
a warning
90s.
on every single box and bag that we have. Food may be hot.
But
warning: food may be hot.
At the end of the day, if I was McDonald's, I would, especially
and every other fast food place,
especially for Happy Meals, I would have a holding period for all the hot food that goes in the Happy Meal box.
Like how long?
It has to sit for a certain period of time to cool. I don't know, a minute.
People don't want to wait though.
It doesn't matter. See,
so
here's the question too.
You're telling me that people that are like standing there, waiting, like let's say they're not in the drive-thru, they're standing there at the register waiting. They're gonna see their food and you're gonna make them wait. All millions of people.
I don't know. There has to be some sort of thing that they have to come up with to. I don't know. And here's the other thing: are the chicken nuggets cooked order to order and then immediately put in the box, or are these chicken nuggets sitting under a warming light?
I would assume they're cooked to order.
Because the French fries sit in a giant.
Yeah,
they cook them in a big.
That's because
batch.
French fries are like common. They're like.
Well, chicken nuggets are too.
Yeah, but I would assume maybe somebody.
Sometimes they're in a warming drawer.
Maybe somebody who's watching here has worked at McDonald's and can comment down below in the comment section. If you have, please comment down below and like that comment if you see it, so it'll rise to the top. If a comment that has more likes will rise to the top. But I assume because fries kind of go with every meal.
Right, but I know that they make them in giant batches, orders, and they dump them into the big thing, and then they just scoop them to order into the thing. And I know that sometimes, like the burger patties, they have them in little warming drawers. So they're not making patties to order. They have a lot of patties ready. So I wonder if they're frying a whole ton of nuggets to order and then they have them in like a warming drawer or in a warming table, and maybe there was a couple of them that were sitting too close to the warming element or something, and those were too hot.
Okay, so let's
Something happened that
so let,
shouldn't
so
have.
let's go back. Let's go back to a broad picture here. Is McDonald's and or the franchisee at
Yes.
fault?
Yes, they're liable.
Okay,
It shouldn't have happened.
okay. So now every single time someone gets burned from hot food, is McDonald's and or every other fast food chain liable and at fault every
I
time
mean,
here?
it depends on the circumstance, but I think in this circumstance, yes, because you're not expecting your 4-year-old child to
But
get burned from a chicken nugget.
but how many people are going to do this on purpose?
That's the fine line, and that's the issue is that sometimes, especially in this era right now, we're kind of in a sue happy era.
And we will be going forward.
I
It ain't going to
know.
stop.
I know, but in this situation, this poor child is autistic. She already has um a difficult life ahead of her, and it doesn't seem like these people are asking for much. They've only
Well, I
um
think the 15,000 is just for the medical bills, and then they're also seeking compensatory
okay, but
compensation.
it's not like they're suing for $10 million.
Well, I think that the lady who got burned by the
Coffee?
coffee, didn't she get 1 million or something?
Yes.
And that was like 20 years ago.
Yes, that's a different situation. In this situation, I don't find it to be
And if
grossly.
this lady's if this child has a scar for life or something, I think we're talking big money here.
Put it this
And when you
way.
sue McDonald's, you ain't suing for
No,
pennies.
but I think that McDonald's, something wrong happened here, and I think something needs to change. Because if this happened to Julian, we would not be happy,
I agree with you.
especially if Julian was a special needs child.
So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. She's got a lot of good points. I'd be pretty pissed.
You don't expect that to happen with a chicken nugget. I'm sorry.
They're right. Let me know your thoughts. She's right. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. We'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. Just click the subscribe button and the bell icon. Let me know if you like having her on. I love having her on. I wish she was on more, but she's been busy with
Being sick because
being
my
sick.
germ sponge child.
Yeah. And she takes him to preschool and stuff kind of when I film, and we got a lot of stuff going on. So let me know your thoughts. Maybe we'll have her on more.
Hey, when the summertime happens, maybe I'll be able to because
Yeah.
he won't be in school.
And thank you for liking and sharing these videos. Here's some videos you should watch next. Vladimir Putin is testing the US defenses. You can click here to see that. And also here in this video, your money in the banks, you might not be able to withdraw it. And you can see here why. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys. And we will see you in the next video.
Bye.